Thank
Yeah.
you, Andy. Man, you guys are listening today too. This is freaking awesome.
Wow, they're all
Woo!
on. All the cameras are on.
Tina,
I turned mine
Good
off just to be
morning.
a rebel.
good morning.
Suzanne's very blurry. Why are you so blurry,
Yeah, you
Suzanne?
might
Your
try wiping
camera.
your little camera. Maybe you sneezed
Yeah,
on
I
it.
think it's my camera. I had been using a temper like a just an add-on and it worked better. This is the stupid laptop.
Good morning. Charlie, where are you at? Oh, turn on your mic. Where are you? I've seen you on here, I think. Haven't I? At some point I've seen you here.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Can't hear you. You're muted.
Bottom left
There,
hand.
it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me do it
There
for
you
some reason. Yeah, I'm joining in from Cape Coral, Florida. So it's
go.
my
Okay.
very first meeting.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Good. Good to
Uh,
have you. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
How long have you been with us?
Well, I'm from Colorado, and I signed up with you guys right before I moved last. I think it was like last May or something, and then I moved and all that jazz. So I've been effectively working for about 6 months with EXP. So I'm still kind of new, but I was an agent in Colorado for 20 years. So
Okay.
I'm not a new realtor. I'm just kind of new to EXP and everything. I joined a team here in Cape Coral, actually, Integrity First. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Out of
Jeff's from
curiosity,
Colorado Springs.
Oh, really?
Here I am. Where were you at, Charlie? Where were you at here?
I lived in Arvada,
Okay. Sure.
Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah.
how was it working with the team out of curiosity down there? How's that working?
So the team is awesome. I've never worked on a team before. So it's very different dynamics. The only thing I don't like is I've never worked for as less money.
Yeah. That was
So
my thought because every team's a little different. So leads they give you, obviously you pay them whatever percentage. Are you allowed to create your own and get a different and get the regular 80/20 on things you create? Yeah.
no, we can create our own, but the split is still the same. So I probably make 45% of every transaction, which
And are you doing that just because you're new to the market, don't have the sphere and so forth and trying
yes.
to, okay.
Being in Colorado for being an agent for 20 years and being from there,
Yeah.
I knew so many people. So I had a huge fear. And then I came here and there's nobody. So that is the main reason why I joined a team, because I just felt like they could give me a little bit of direction. And they have, like they got me in with the Chamber of Commerce, which I could have done on my own, but it was kind of nice to have the introduction.
Yeah.
I'm in a master networking group that they had a spot in, that they gave me that spot. So I mean, it has been a good thing for me, but they expect, so many hours on the phone and so many. I'm not used to, I'm a very independent worker, so I'm trying to comply, but I don't know.
Are
It's
you still because we've got a huge freedom team in Colorado Springs with EXP. There's a lot of people that are even on here. There's a couple of them. Are you still handling listings and stuff back here? Because you could do that and have agents that could help you. We've got a ton in Colorado Springs.
I could, I felt so overwhelmed just joining EXP. You guys have so much stuff that's available to me that I've never really had before. So absorbing all of that, being in a new place, I actually got rid of my license in Colorado, which
Uh,
doesn't mean I can't get it back at some point. It was just too much for me to juggle at the beginning. So yeah.
Keep it in mind for referrals. If you got some
yeah.
people back here, because
Oh,
we'll
Be
obviously
glad to
do
take them.
the 25%.
yeah,
A
that's
lot of people are doing
We'll
30%
give you
referral
30.
fees. Yeah.
right.
Go out here,
Lot-
40. Anybody 40, 45, 50, 55?
Yeah.
I think
So
Jeff and I are probably the only ones on here from Colorado
Yeah,
Springs.
right now
Maybe a few
there
others
might be
from
more.
Colorado.
So.
yeah,
And
I have
I do cover Denver Metro, so just throwing that out there.
oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. I really had a lot of sticker shock at my very first closing here, because in Colorado, you sell houses for 700,000, 800,000 for an average house. Here, a nice house goes for 400,000, 350. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. And then I have such a huge split because I'm on a team. I'm like, this is terrible. So it's taken me a while to adjust, but I'm getting there.
I will
Well,
tell you,
welcome.
Charlie, just the one thing I would say, just if you go back and even through the last couple of months of our trainings, our Tuesday trainings are all recorded. You
Oh,
know, and
that's
that's
great.
definitely a day to be at. I mean, if you can come to Tuesdays, but the stuff that's in there from the last couple of months, you could build your own business down there really pretty quick if you just, and you know how to do it. You've done it
Right,
before. You know,
right.
you could build up some stuff down there pretty quick
Oh,
without
that's
having to take the splits of being on a team. Nothing wrong with being on a team, but I get it. It can be expensive after a while. You know, you're doing
yeah,
twice as much work for the same amount of money. You know,
yeah,
or the
exactly.
same
No,
amount of work for half as much money. I mean,
I
so
don't
it's
I don't see myself being on a team for inevitably.
yeah. The
I
last
just
few months we've had some really good, you know, between Nick's stuff with AI and getting business and picking up things there to, you know, Aaron Novello, his probate training. Kathy had a divorce training. Like there's all those people out there that need agents. They need help, you know?
right. That's awesome.
And if
Yeah, I
you
love
find
that.
those people, it's just a matter of like, how do I shift my marketing to find those people who will have to make a move right now? There's
Right.
always going to be those people, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
And
So
we're about to launch, hopefully here in the next 2 weeks. We're gonna have a website. You were talking about how there's so much here to that's it's almost overwhelming.
Yes.
But the website we're gonna have everything EXP has to offer will be available in one area. As new stuff gets rolled out, if it makes sense for us to implement it, we're going to have it on that website. But another area we'll have, if you decide to go off on your own, you already know this probably, there's about 25 different websites or companies where they give you the leads, right? And you don't pay until closing. And we had an awesome training about probably 6 weeks ago, Jeff, maybe 8 weeks ago, where that lady came on and
Stacy
talked,
Lambright.
yeah, how a lot of people are like, well, heck, by the time I do the 50-50 split and then I do the 80-20, I'm only getting like 30%. It's not worth my time. She's like, if that's your mindset, you shouldn't be in real estate. She changed everybody's mindset to go, look, the moment you get one of those deals, I don't care if it's 25 to 30% commission, a relationship has started. They're probably going to get 4 to 5 homes in their lifetime. They may give you 3 to 5 referrals. If you work that database, and we have got probably 4 or 5 incredible trainings on how to manage your sphere and your database and how to work it, the drips and all that stuff. Anyway, like you said, tons of trainings you can go look through. You can go to our YouTube channel. But when that website launches and you decide to go on your own, I would sign up for every single company. There's like 25 of them today. They're giving leads, right? And you only pay at closing. Don't think of the small percentage. Think of the, I just got in the door. I got a relationship going. Maybe it's not the commission I wanted, but I'm looking for future referrals and future business from them. Just a
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
mind.
that's good.
Yeah. What,
Like,
in your mind, what do you, in your, being that you've been down there for 6 months with the team, making less commission, do you already have in your mindset going, all right, I'm going to do this another 3 months or 5 months? What's kind of your thought there?
yeah, that is my thought. So, I haven't really put a time on it, which maybe I should because things don't usually happen unless you you have a plan. But yeah, this is this is not my thing. A team is not my thing. I don't think teams are bad if especially if you're a brand new agent.
Yeah.
Since I've done it for so long, it's hard for me to be a team player. And that sounds terrible because I am a team player, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they have things set up a lot for new people, new people coming in and it's kind of like been there, done that kind of thing, you know, but it is what it is. I mean, I committed to them for now. So I'm just kind of riding the wave until I can really get solid ground and then I'm going to go on my own.
Gotcha.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
like I said, plug into our Tuesdays. I think you really get a ton of value. You can go to our YouTube, EXP Freedom Team on YouTube, and go look at that. We got a playlist, and most of them are titles. You can kind of look at which ones do you want to kind of watch and incorporate. Like
Okay.
Jeff said, that should really help you start laying the foundation. There's been, I agree, man, phenomenal trainings, not just the last couple of months, almost the last year. Uh, Jeff always shares his testimony. If you haven't heard it, Charlie, from these Tuesday masterminds,
Mhm.
because he's the moderator, one of them, he and Kathy, and he has to attend them 50 out of 52 weeks over the last 12 months. He generally adds a dozen plus transactions by simply implementing what he learns on the 1 hour training per week. That's kind of
Oh,
crazy to think
wow.
about. An extra 100 to 150 grand because he watches them, because he's sitting on the moderator. Then he goes and implements what he learned. And he's a 23, 24-year veteran, Jeff.
Yeah.
He said he almost picks something up, if not every time, every other time from veteran agents that
Oh,
everybody just got
great.
little things that they can, add value and you can incorporate into your business.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
I just put the YouTube channel in the chat, just so everybody has it. You know, you can find all the stuff there. There's a playlist in there about get more transactions. That's all of our Tuesday trainings. If you click on the title, it pulls up the whole list. And they're kind of in order of how they're added. So like the one from yesterday, that'll be up there today. The AI one. That was really good. But
Yeah.
and then I did put the link in there for Revenos, which is kind of the, I don't know if you've done anything with Revenos, Charlie, for anybody on here, what it's a, you can go in there and see the schedule, all the different classes that they're doing for, it's basically the referral hub for EXP. So again, like my wife, I always tell this because she got certified with EXP relocation a couple years ago. You have to update it like every 18 months or something, 4 hours of training. And I don't know, good Lord, we've had, I don't know how many deals over the last couple of years. I mean, I could pull up the list right now. We probably have 8 or 9 things working right now that are all relocation deals.
Wow.
So, and they're just handed to you. They don't all pan out, but probably 70% of them pan out, turn into a closing. There's a higher referral fee on most of them, 40-45%. But like we had so many of those that have led to multiple deals. We had a couple we worked with last summer, and it was a 45% referral. They were in Monument, which Charlie, I mean, it is, again, I think they've like 800,000. We still made good money on it, but it's led to 3 more deals since then. They had family move out here. One of their neighbors listed, and they gave us the referral, and they gave us the name and number on that. We got that one, and of course, there's no referral fees on any of those. So,
Right.
I've learned to just gladly accept the 45%, and it's all good. It's going to lead to more stuff. So
Yeah.
that's through EXP relocation. So anyway.
That's great. Yeah, when I look back over my history of selling real estate and how that you get to know the whole family, off that first deal, then you'll do their kids and their aunts and and that's really what it's all about. I think.
Mhm.
So yeah, I get that.
Charlie, who's your closest Freedom Team founder partner, or who sponsored you in DXP?
So Trish Giaska, I'm not
Giazza?
Giazza,
Okay,
yeah, she lives in Boulder.
right.
And it was so funny because I had my house on the market in Arvada and I wasn't getting a lot of activity. And so she just called me up and she says, I want to know why your house hasn't sold. Because, it was great. I lived up there in Leiden Rock and all the views up there are just beautiful. And
Oh, yeah.
I said, I don't know what is going on there. And she says, well, let me come. She says, can I come to your house and just take a look at it? And she says, one of my expertise things is I stage. And I said, sure. So she came and she staged my whole entire house and, kept dripping on me. I mean, I knew what she was doing, but, but still, she gave herself value. And then she says, I did all this. Now you got to come work for me, basically. That's not how she said it, but so I signed up with her. And then it took me a while to get moved and get relocated and get everything done. And I had to get relicensed here in Florida because they don't have reciprocity here. So I had to take the test again, after so many years. I was like, oh my gosh. So it took me a while to get established. And she's still, keeping in contact. She's awesome. And
Yeah.
so they're the ones that turned me on to you guys. And they said, you have to sit in this Freedom Team thing. So here I am.
Good.
Yeah,
Hey,
they are awesome. Her and Jason both.
Yep.
The reason I ask, I was going to make several suggestions and then we'll move on, but sign up with all the referral fee only vendors that we talked about, people that are going to send you leads and you only pay them at the closing. uh, Go get certified in Revenos and get all the leads from EXP. And you could be doing these things leading up to a potential termination date with your team.
Yep.
And then I would talk to Trish and Jason about the funnel program that they have. If you're willing to spend a little money for leads, they've got some amazing funnel products that you need to talk to them about that they can give you access to.
Yeah, they
So,
told me about that. That's
okay. So
great. Yeah.
pick your go live date as an independent and get these things done or in process. So when you turn off the team, you'll have the leads all turned on from all 3 of those sources. And lastly, the 4th lead source is get to know and love and indoctrinate yourself into Bold Trail. That's the old KV Core brand. They just changed the name on it. You can
Right.
literally generate leads for free with KV Core in a brand new market as a brand new agent and make money. So I'll leave it at that.
Is there, so I have a little bit of an issue with the Bold Trail thing. It's been around for a long time. I've tried it before. I have a little bit of an issue with the dripping on people, the automated text messages and stuff. And I know that that's just the way of the future. So how do you guys feel about that? Like, I mean, you put somebody's name in and then stuff just starts going out to them, and I feel like it's so impersonal.
Well, the first thing we teach is turn all that crap off until you know what it's sending, and you make sure it's sending things that
You
fill your
can.
personality. And
Okay.
most of us, I mean, those of us that are doing the funnel programs, and Jason and Trish are some of them certainly, the things we're sending our leads are of value. And I don't care as long as you're sending value, drip, 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 drip. They're eventually going to call you and say, "Man, you've given me so much information over the last few months. I want you to be my buyer's agent."
Okay. Is
So
there a place to go to get really good training on KV Core? I mean, we just have someone in our office that trains us, and
Yeah. Got that
it's
link?
I'm putting it in
yeah,
right now.
Okay.
we actually have a guy that give everybody in the Freedom Team a special. It's less than $20 a month, and you can cancel it at any time. But it's freaking awesome. And one of the videos, if you go in and search when you get to the YouTube channel, search KV Core. What's the guy's name that did that training that was 2 hours that day?
Anthony Robinson. I'll put it in here
Yeah,
right now.
Anthony Robbins. Watch that training and then sign up, not with the link he gives you in the training, but Jeff's giving you a link now that because he charges like $100 for this normally, but he's giving it to Freedom Team members for 20. That's worthwhile. And that'll give you a ton of leads and without spending anything. You can always, spend money to get leads, but that what he teaches is how to do that without forking out anything at all.
okay, that's great.
Um, Jeff and Tim, since we're kind of talking about how referrals, may I share a screen? I'd love to have you guys just take a couple minutes, walk at least me through these different on how I talk about this when I'm with an agent. Can I share this screen? I'd love to hear you guys's
Yeah, you should be
back
able to share.
uh, right here. How do you guys talk about this if somebody, and I know it's being recorded, but do either one of you guys kind of when that screen comes up on the partner with me, how do you walk somebody through this, or do you? How would you even touch on it?
I don't use that slide, so I'll let Jeff answer that because I think
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
using
I
it.
don't know that I use that slide necessarily. I do talk about revenues. It just, I mean, I kind of hit it just briefly. Everything from, again, relocation leads. I might mention my wife's story,
Okay.
our story, how we've gotten, just countless leads from this thing over the last couple of years. I'll just hit a couple of these bundle select, military program, the express offers, cash offers for sellers. You can get certified there. That can work. There's different things we're doing with that. REO that's coming back, bank owned properties. We're seeing a rise in that with foreclosures and short sales and stuff, but there's all kinds of tools that EXP has, and you can get trained in any and all of these, and it's all free. And, there's ways to, get leads out of that, get business out of that. So I don't go into it in super detail, but the biggest one that I'm aware of that I know personally is just because of what we've experienced with the EXP reload,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
and so, yeah, no, the reload has been really good. Let me find something here and I'll show you guys. Go ahead, you guys can.
I was gonna add, you guys, I just got my first revenue, so I haven't been trying to work with it very long at all. Probably a couple of weeks, and I got a referral, and it was a bank owned, and it takes a little longer, so don't give up on it. Takes a little longer to get through it because they need a lot of help because they're not typically in your area when they're ready, obviously. And it was worth it, obviously, $1 million property. So, but they need a lot of help. They need your expertise. So it can really pay off.
Yeah. Great testimonial. Thanks, Tina.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, I would basically say, look, guys, you may not even know this, but here's 8 ways right here that you can get leads. And a couple of them cost a little bit, but most of them are free. So if you're serious about growing your business, you need to minimally plug into 7 out of the 8 that don't cost you a nickel. Because I think the one that does cost is making it rain. You know, you're spending money to
Right.
generate PPC leads to your KV Core, your Bold Trail site using that one. But I think the rest of them, I didn't look at them all super close to know that for sure. But the majority of those don't cost anything but a referral fee.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Guys, this is all about you. Who has the next question? You know, this agenda just builds as we ask questions. So fire away.
So you were saying, so you guys have this meeting and then you have one on Tuesdays?
Here, I'll put the schedule in here for you. We do it Monday through Thursday, this exact same time, same Zoom link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Monday, Thursday, if you ever have interest in attracting like you were attracted.
All right.
We do attraction every Monday, Thursday. Every Tuesday, Wednesday is really more focused on production, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, like today. It
Uh-huh.
generally is mostly about production. What can we help with? And so Tuesday, Wednesday production, Monday, Thursday. Let me put it in here for you, the schedule. Yeah, we tell everybody this is great that you came. Come for about 30 days. Just come for the next 4 weeks as much as you can. Then you'll kind
Okay.
of figure out, you know what, boy, this is the one I want to make a staple. I'm not going to miss this. So whichever one that is, according to where you're at in your business,
Okay.
that's our recommendation to you. Um, here we go.
Yeah, I feel like where have you guys been all my life?
We've been here waiting for you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Same time every day.
I
That's
want to
great.
talk. Okay, hold on. Oh,
Go
hello
ahead, Heidi.
everybody. I've been missing all this amazing group. I was getting my license here in Florida, so I just moved to the Space Coast. So I have a question. Somebody told me about PropStream, real estate investment software. Like I could get leads there.
Anybody
Prop,
familiar with
prop
that? I'm not.
stream. No.
Never
Prop
heard of it.
stream, is that what you said?
Yes, PROP stream.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, well, okay. No, it's just if you know about that, about leads. And somebody that was an agent a few years ago, he said, "Oh, this is great for leads." So, but I just,
Hmm.
I haven't joined because you get bombarded like do this, do that, and spending a lot of money and not seeing anything. So yeah.
I'll give you my opinion on that, Heidi, and I've tried. I chased a lot of shiny objects in my 24-year real estate career, and I've spent a lot of money on things that were just vaporware. We used to call it in the software industry. I would not spend anything upfront on any lead service that's
Mm,
trying to sell you leads because they're
mm,
usually crap leads, and all they're really doing is collecting your money, taking part of that money and doing pay-per-click ads on Google. And internet leads are 100% internet leads. You know, 99% of them won't close most of the time. So I would focus. I don't know what time you joined, but I'd go back to the Revenos link that Jeff put in there. Get Revenos certified. Get your leads from EXP. You're going to pay a referral fee, but you don't pay up front for that stuff. And that's the case for any lead source, unless you're buying leads through a sophisticated funnel marketing system like some of us are using in our businesses, where you can spend $10 a day on Facebook and Instagram ads and get leads that way for buyers and sellers. That certainly is worthwhile, but they're going to convert at 1%. But
yes,
when you got a
mhm,
funnel to manage that whole process for you, you don't have to spend any time on it. You just respond to the responses that you get through your drip campaigns, and if you call them, yeah, you'll probably convert at 1.5 or 2%, so that you can double your chances. But I wouldn't spend any money on lead surfaces personally. Now that's just my opinion. I'm
thank
anxious.
you.
Anybody else has anything to add to that, please do. But there's too
Yeah.
many referral fee services out there that you can make money on as a segment of your business. Your business, Michael Higdon, who's part of the Freedom Team, he says your business is like a stool. And the more legs it has, the sturdier that stool is. If you've only got one leg on your stool or one lead source, it's going to fall over. You're going to fall down. You have two, it's at least it's only going to fall in one or direction or the other. But you have three or more, then you start building. So the key is to have your business coming from a couple of at least three different spaces, so you've got stability in your business. And then the more legs you add, the more lead sources you add, that you're not paying out the nose for, the stronger and more profitable your business is going to be.
Okay.
Hey,
Tim.
to
Okay,
answer her
that's-
question on that prop stream, I just looked it up. Basically, it looks like it is a watered down version of Bold Trail. Bold Trail does the exact same thing it's a CRM, but it's a marketing tool. And Bold Trail will do everything. I just read through it as to what it would do, and it looks like Bold Trail will do everything it'll do and more. So it'll blow it out of the water. And
Okay,
you don't pay for Bold Trail; it's free. So
yes, thank you.
I'd like to add on top of that, I'm a, basically a brand new agent. And so I'm filtering through all the information that EXP gives us, which there's a lot. And so it's like you can get you can overdose just on the amount of information you get. But filtering through everything right now, I'm on this call every single day, just gathering information that I can from the professionals that have been in this industry a long time. I'm going on I think maybe 30 days I've had my license, but using the systems and the funnels that we've got through the Freedom team that I got access to, just my leads have been going online right now for I think I'm at like 10 days. 10 days, and I'm averaging about 1.25 leads per day. I've got one buyer's I've got one buyer's agent under contract that I'm working with. I got two others that I'm actually working with that are actually, that I'm talking to, and we're going to look at properties this week. And so, and this is, I don't know anything other than what I'm gathering and gleaming from these guys on these calls. And, having my ads go for 2 weeks, I'm spending $15 a day, and, I'm already getting, almost overwhelmed making sure that I'm keeping track of the stuff that I'm getting that's coming to me. It's been pretty fun. It's almost, kind of gets exciting. Then we got the calls like we had, Monday, or was it yesterday, the AI training. Is just like, it's just phenomenal that you're the value that you're getting just being, dedicating an hour every day, more, 4 days a week just to get the information you're getting here. It's freaking amazing.
Appreciate
It's
that.
it's a lot. Last week, if you guys were on, we talked about this last week a little bit too, but the Instagram training that Livia did. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's just not something I'm looking to do, but she's posting one reel a day. Like Charlie, she's in Orlando. She's been in business since 2020. She's posting one reel a day on Instagram. So it's like, a 60-second video that she does. It's new home tours. That's all she's doing. And
Right.
she's getting 600 leads a month through Instagram.
My gosh.
For free.
And she went through last week's training. She went through exactly what she's doing and how to do it. And I mean, it's just like, so
And
I don't know.
that was all recorded, and that's in all those.
It's all recorded. It's all on the Freedom Team YouTube channel. Yeah.
I got a lot of binge watching to do, I think.
Pick and choose different things.
$3.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Pick
more
and choose different
Netflix.
things. Yeah. Yeah. One thing I think it's something that I see people get into, and I've made this mistake myself, where all of a sudden I got like 5 different things I'm working on, and 6 months later I still got 5 different things I'm working on because nothing has my focus.
Exactly.
Let me pick one thing and dive in and become an expert on it and get it built, get it done. It's working. Now I can go over here and do this one because that one's working. I can keep up with that one, keep up with leads coming in, but I could be building this one now. And it's just like, that's just a recommendation. Focus on 5 things and nothing has your focus. It's just focus on one and get it done. It might be probates, it might be Instagram, it might be revenues with the relocation. Like, just dig in and get it.
It could be YouTube.
It could be YouTube, Andy Hollis, exactly. All these different things. So,
Hey,
but I would tell you that's just something I would recommend, because I see it's so easy to go down that road, and especially here when there's just so much stuff.
And that's me. I feel like there is so much that I was very overwhelmed when I first got here, and all the stuff. I mean, I've worked for over the 20 years, several different real estate companies, and I never had as much stuff as EXP has. So, learning all of it and diving into all, and I was like, I just want to sell a house, like I know how to do that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So great.
Yes, sir.
Got him. Andy, give us a 2-minute pitch on why YouTube.
Well, the biggest thing is it's free, and plus the leads are a different quality of lead that you get. I mean, it's just it's amazing. Yeah, you can sit here and pay for all these different things. Like we're talking about the funnels. It works. Because you're spending a little bit of money on Facebook. They fill out a form. They give you a reason to contact them. That kind of thing. But like Tim mentioned before, it's online leads, so you're gonna get some crap mixed in there. But with us, with the YouTube channel, what we've discovered is that these people they're absolutely 100% ready to buy whenever they contact you. Tina's on this call. She can attest to it. We just had one that contacted me. They're like, "Is this the YouTube guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is the YouTube guy." And they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you answered the phone. We're looking at da 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 da." And so I said, "Okay, well, let me get you one of my buyer's agent." I flip them over to Tina. They came in town the next weekend, put a house under contract, paid cash, closed in 17 days.
Will you
You know.
stop giving away my secrets? Because now I don't like that competition. This group's too good. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just
But yeah,
kidding.
that's
Andy,
the
what
way it
part
works.
of Alabama do you cover?
We're Baldwin County, so we're Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, Foley, Spanish Fort, Daphne, all that
Okay.
that whole area. We
And
also
also
Tina,
Escambia County. We
yeah,
Gulf
Tina,
Breeze to Gulf Shores.
yeah, Tina's licensed in
Thank you.
Florida. Several of our people are licensed in Florida. So Tina's licensed in Florida, so she covers Pensacola, Perdido Beach. So we're all over the place.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's a long game, so I mean, I'm not going to tell you that you can turn on a YouTube channel, put up a video and people start calling you immediately. That's not the way it works. You have to get yourself out there, be consistent and get found. It took us about 4 months before we got our first phone call, 7 months before we made our first sale. But since then, we've probably done over $35 million from the YouTube channel in sales, and we probably have another 75 million in the pipeline. And it just keeps growing. I mean, I've gotten 3 new YouTube clients this week. So one of them I gave to Tina. So there you go.
Nice.
I have a question about follow up and the CRM. I'm following along with converting to Bold Trail. I mean, it's not much of a conversion. I've also watched the video a couple of times that you guys have shared, and Brad and I were talking about it just, I think, yesterday, about revisiting it and going through it with, I want to say his name is Carlos, that does the training. How
Anthony.
much time do you, I'm sorry, Anthony, I
Yeah,
apologize.
no, that's all right.
How much time do you spend when you start talking about time blocking? Because I find myself in the enviable position to need to time block now because I have so many showings that I'm doing and so many people that I'm working with. I'm not in front of my computer very often. I'm driving around all over the Gulf Coast. And so how much time do you feel like you need to spend following up with the CRM, putting notes in, making sure that you're uh, maintaining your campaign to those people that you're not active with right at the moment? They may be a year from now. They may be people that you just need to follow up, when you've got it set as a drip campaign, but how active are you with your CRM, I guess is my question.
Well, I can start with that because, like with mine, I think at the moment I'm sending 22 emails a month out to my entire database. Um, and that is, things like basically I'm sending them a list of, um, open houses on the weekends, so they can see a list of open houses so they'll know which ones to pick and go to. On Monday, I'm sending them newly listed stuff that's new, just came on the market. On Wednesdays, I'm sending them out price reductions, things that have been reduced in the MLS. On Friday, I'm sending them new construction. So I'm sending them all the whole list of new construction. Now I'm sending these to everybody in the database, but the reason I'm doing that, and I'm also sending out a weekly newsletter. But the reason I'm doing this is because I have 3,200 people in my database, and I know good and well I cannot work closely with 3,200 people. So I make it a game. I'm trying my best to get people to unsubscribe and tell me they don't want to talk to me anymore. So I'm literally making that a game. I try to get at least 10 a week. So I'm sending them stuff so much that I'm so in their face that I want them to say, stop it. Stop sending me stuff and get in. So then those are the people that I know I don't want to talk to. So I have whittled that thing down. I literally started almost a year ago, and I've whittled the 3,200 down to about 1,900, and my goal is to get that in half. I want to get that down to about 800 people, to where I can literally send them stuff and I'll know they'll open it. I know these are people I can communicate with, and they're actively looking at property, because I can see when they look at property on your KV Core or your Bold Trail. So, but I hope that answers your question. And then as soon as, like, with me, if I have a conversation with somebody, I'm talking about the very second that I hang up with them, I go into my CRM and I make notes, because if I don't do that, I'll forget. So I make notes, I might star it, I might set myself a task a couple of days later to follow up with them for some reason. And I have set alerts on my KV Core or Bold Trail so that it tells me when I have like an hour before my task is due. It alerts me and says, you got a task due to call John Smith at 1 o'clock, so that I know to actually pick up the phone and call him. So a
Do
lot.
you use, do you use an app? How much of, so that's through KV Core, and then you're also entering into Go High Level. How much, how much, how often do you put notes in to KV Core and or Go High Level, I should say? That's where I'm finding I'm weak, where I'm thinking at 8 o'clock at night, man, I should probably put some notes in before I forget. You know, I've had all this follow up with these people and I haven't put any notes in, and I'm not going to remember.
The
I do it
answer
as
is
soon as I,
immediately.
Yeah.
yeah, I do it as soon as I hang up the phone. I sit down and do it. I mean, like, when if I'm having a conversation with you, just as soon as I click done, I'm jumping into my CRM and I'm putting a note in there.
So if you're driving, because I'm finding myself driving a lot, I'm headed to Fort Morgan here in a few minutes, and I'm on the phone the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, is it the app that you're using? I'm just trying to make myself more efficient. That's my goal in the
Well,
I
I'm
next
a
have the
30
nerd.
days.
same issue, Tina. I talk to people and then, I obviously can't type while I'm on driving. So then I get home and forget
And
to put it in.
Well,
Thank you
I'll
and
for
tell
it
you.
came to a head for me yesterday because I had someone cold call me trying to get me to change to another. And I listen to everybody, I guess I like to talk too. And he asked me a question. He said, how many leads did you generate last month, the last 3 months or so? And I started thinking about it, and about 30 leads. I closed 4 of them. So that's not a great close until you extrapolate it out. I mean, some of them will come, further down the road, but I'm not doing an efficient and I believe an effective job of managing my leads and my notes for my leads and where they are in the next step in the process. I've got them in there and they're getting messages, they're getting, you know, they have a drip campaign. I'm trying to get better with that as well, where it's more personalized. I think that's really key to separate yourself from everybody using a CRM. And they're getting a lot, they're getting Zillow, and I'm trying to convince them, you don't really need Zillow, you just need my app and in my emails. But that said, I'm not doing a really good job. I'm fearful that down the road, as I continue to generate more and more leads, I have to put in my calendar myself physically, follow up with ABC from Revenos because I owe them this, or they owe me a response.
Yeah. I
To
want to
follow
jump
up
in.
with
I want to
this
jump in. I
person
gotta
because they,
jump in.
okay, go
I'm
ahead.
going
Go
crazy
ahead.
over here. I'm going nuts over
Okay.
here. You guys make me crazy. I gotta
That's
jump
what I wanted.
No, I think so. Here's one thing, and I do what Andy and Tim said. I think best you can, even if you have to record some, if you have to, again, you're driving. I don't know, send yourself a voice text. You can do that. I mean, just hit the thing or make a recording on your voice memo, whatever. Whatever. Talk to Sue Smith, and here's what she said. Da 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 da. Whatever, and then go on to the next call. And when you get somewhere, when you're between appointments or that night when you get home or whatever, go in and update those notes in your contacts. I think that's important to do. If you're at a stoplight and you got a piece of paper in the car, and I don't know, I'm just making a quick note while I'm at the stoplight on, just a couple notes I got to add. It's just a couple things. And I will say, and I think, like every day, I got really good at this over the years as far as just here's the list of calls I need to make today. And some of those people are from 6 months ago, but they're on my schedule today. And it's important to, you talked about time blocking, to block out some time. You might have that day where a couple days where you're showing houses all day long. You got some out of state clients where it's just a busy time, but you've got to make sure that you're blocking out some time in there at some point, the next day or whatever, 2 hours or an hour, whatever it is, to catch up on your phone calls and catch up on that list of calls. You keep moving them out and you keep moving them out and you keep moving out and you keep moving out. And all of a sudden you've called them a month later and they're already under contract. I mean, I've had that happen, so you learn just to keep up with those things. There's important ones and you can highlight them. Like if I go to my Google Calendar, it says I've got all the different colors and I know red means it's hot. Like it's a call I need to make today. You know what I mean? I've got all these different colors in my head in terms of how I've labeled myself, and you come up with a system like that for yourself. But I think too, in those notes, if I'm talking to somebody and, I'm catching up with them, whatever, they're in my database. It's, we're catching up on something. How's your home search coming? How's your moving plans coming along? Well, things are great. We're kind of on hold right now. My daughter's getting married in 2 weeks. And oh my gosh, my focus has been over there, but we'll probably be back at it, come August here. We just got a lot going on right now. When I call her back in August, what's the first thing I'm going to ask her about?
How was the wedding?
How was the wedding? Exactly. It's not just going to be business, back to real estate, because again, it's going to be like, hey, Sue, before we, jump into some real estate stuff here, how was your daughter's wedding? And just have that conversation, because you'll hear those things and make those notes when you're talking to people. They're talking about their son graduating. They're talking about their kid that they had to take to the doctor and they've been watching things. There's some things going on there. But it's going to be the first thing I'm going to talk about is their life stuff. Because again, there's just a connection made. It's not just you're in it for the money. You just want to get to closing and get paid. Because that's how people tend to view us as realtors, And so connect with them. But you make those notes, a voice memo if you're in your car, whatever, writing it down at a stoplight, whatever, but you go in and make those notes. The other thing too, I always ended every conversation with leads coming in. I'll ask them what their time frame is. Oh, we're thinking probably sometime, next spring, whatever, they're out of state, they're coming in next spring, that kind of thing. When would be a good time for me to follow back with you? Sometimes they'll say, why don't you call me next spring? But a lot of times they'll say, well, I don't know, why don't you, probably call me in a couple months, that'd be great. You'll get different answers there. Whatever they say, when would be the next best time for me to get back to you? Whatever they tell me, I'm cutting it in half. I learned that.
Yep.
Okay. If they say call next spring and I wait till next spring, I call next spring and they're already moved here and they already got a house and I missed out on it completely. That happened. And I learned that from Craig Proctor. Whatever they tell you, call me in 3 months, I'm calling them in a month and a half. Call me in 6 months, I'm calling them in 3. They never remember. I told you to call me in 6 months. Why are you calling me? They never, ever remember that. Okay. Just call them and hey, just wanted to check in. How you guys doing? How's the, how are the kids? How was your summer? Whatever. Just wanted to catch up, see if there's anything new with your moving plans. And we're reconnecting. We're catching up. But I've got all those notes in my system so I know where they are. I had some people I worked with. It was so funny because, and again, a lot of this was just automated stuff. It doesn't have to be this overwhelming thing. You got these drip campaigns. You got a monthly market report. You got different things you're sending out to them, just automated. I had some people I worked with, one time. I mean, it led to 3 closings. And I had not talked, I talked to him probably every 6 months for about 8 years. That's what the lead came in. It was 8 years later before they actually did anything. And I remember like all of a sudden I got the call, like out of nowhere. you know, and here's this couple, Chuck and Deb. I forget anyway, but they had a house to sell, and they called me up. I go to meet with them, and we're sitting there going through the house. They said, "I got to tell you, my next door neighbor's a realtor. My best friend at church is a realtor, but there's no way we couldn't use you. My God, you've been in touch with us for 8 months. Like we'd feel guilty if we went anywhere else." But it was all because they just had the campaigns in there automatically going to them, and then just to call every 6 months or so whenever they would tell me to call, cut in half. And all that led to that deal closed. And then they bought another house with me. And then they referred me to somebody else right after that. So it led to, I don't know, 30, 40,000 in commission, and it was 8 years later. But was it worth it? It was just automated stuff going on and a quick 3 or 4 minute phone call every 6 months. That's what it turned into.
And I'm going to add one more perspective, Tina. Notes are incredibly important. I'm going to stand by what I said. You've got to do that immediately. And if it's put it in a voice memo, do it later. But you will forget. You will forget that they said my daughter's getting married, that sort of thing. But the other perspective I want to add is this. If you don't, it's not just about notes. It's also about removing them from a campaign after you've had a conversation with them, or you got egg on your face because your email drip is still going to them and it's talking like you haven't talked to them in weeks. So you've also got to take them off that campaign, put them on a different one.
That's
So
happening to me now, and
yeah,
I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've just not caught up as the volume has increased, and so it's a good and a bad problem to have. But I've got to get better. Do you use the app when you're driving around so you can pull them up quickly? Can you talk into the app and put those notes in? I'm just looking for the most efficient method. The Bold Trail app, I should say.
the most efficient method is the one you're going to use. It's either going to be the voicemail on the voice memo on your iPhone, or it's going to be a note that you speak to. Either one, you'll speak to it. But just find something that will document your memory from that call, and then go on to the next call.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Brad, you want to unmute? Ask your question. You put it in the chat here. Let's see what people throw out here.
Sure. So trying to do the funnels, and I talked yesterday with Michael Reese's guy, and his recommendation was to do a YouTube channel for new construction. And he went through, just take your iPhone and don't say anything, just do a tour and then overdub the audio. That way you don't, he said you could do a house in 5 minutes, and larger houses maybe a little longer. But anyway, so that's his recommendation. And then, so I just put into Chat GTP, what I should name it, where I'm located, and blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to get some opinions. I'm just going to go through the list. I have no vested interest in this. No one's going to hurt my feelings. I just want to, especially Andy, this is your wheelhouse.
These are for your YouTube channel, names?
For a YouTube channel.
Brad's New Home Bonanza. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Aren't
there you
you,
go.
Brad, aren't you enrolled in my training?
I am, but I haven't really started it yet.
What is wrong with you?
There are many people who have asked that same question my entire life.
Tell him, Andy. He'll find the answer in the training. Go ahead, tell him.
He will, 100%. Every answer to your questions are in that training, and I would highly suggest to you. I'm not saying that Michael Reese and them do not know what they're talking about, but I'm telling you at this point they don't know what they're talking about. You need to go through that training, because you need to. I'm just telling you, it'll tell you exactly how to get a name for your channel. You want to build that channel out past what they're doing for you. What they're doing for you is they're trying to make you make a playlist on new construction properties so that you can send that to your clients to walk them through. You do not want a faceless video. You want your face in that video. So you want them to get you to know you. That's what the whole point of it is. You're warming that client up to where they know who Brad is, and they feel like Brad's just a good old boy that we can pick up the phone and call, and he's fantastic. And that's what you're wanting to get across in that thing. So, but yes, it's on the whole training that you have access to. It's in there.
Can,
In
can
the
I
chat,
ask?
someone's asking where it's located. So now's a good pitch. Give us your pitch, Andy.
Can I ask something real quick? And Andy, because I don't think he should do a channel on just a specific channel on new builds.
No,
No,
You want a
that-
real estate
no.
channel. You want a playlist on new builds.
correct.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
That's-
Okay. I want to make sure that. So
Yeah, that's what Andy was clarifying.
Yeah.
Michael's advice is good, but it's a segment of your channel, not your channel.
right.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do just new construction, but I wanted to encompass the Gulf Coast in some way.
Yeah, you're in Mobile right now, right?
Yeah.
But you're planning to move to the beach.
Yes.
Okay, well, you can't do living in Orange Beach because I have that cornered.
Actually, you could do the exact same thing and just copy
You
everything
could.
he's done.
You could. But don't go stealing my stuff, Brad.
Well, and I'm much better looking. So you know.
Well, hey, I have Aileen on my channel. I got one up on you there.
That's true. That's true. Hmm.
So I mean, listen, you're gonna have to use TubeBuddy to go through there and try to find you a perfect name. What you're looking for when you go into TubeBuddy is you're basically looking in there to try to find how many searches are in a month for those particular keywords. So, you might do one that says living on the Gulf Coast, and look up to see, because your keyword in there is going to be Gulf Coast. So you want to see how many searches per month does Gulf Coast come up with. If that's not good enough, if you don't see 3 to 4 million searches a month, you need to look for something different.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
You could do Alabama Gulf Coast living. You could do Gulf Shores living in Gulf Shores. I mean, he's
Living in
spot
it.
on.
Living in Andy's garage.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Or just join Andy's team. He'll feed you leads like he's
You
feeding
know,
Tina.
why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that?
Are by the coast.
Yeah. No, but TubeBuddy is the spot on answer. You've got to see what people are searching for, and then be the one that they find.
Cool.
100%. Yeah, and the only reason I say that is because what Michael's team, they're doing the right thing, but they're trying to get you to put a Band-Aid on something that you really want to cure the sore, So what I mean by that is they're wanting you to do a quick 12 video tour that you
Yeah.
can quickly, they're wanting to see how fast they can get you to get it done and so you can send that to your people who are looking for new construction. And it makes sense what they're doing, but in the long run, if you'll take just a little bit more time and actually go through the training and actually build out your channel, it's going to help you down the road, because eventually, you're going to be able to turn those funnels off, or it'll send them into supercharge if you marry it together with an actual YouTube channel that works, that is searchable. Because then people will find you. I mean, they'll literally find you and say, they'll be like, "Hey, man, I've been watching your videos for a year and a half, and we're finally decided to move down there." And just like the one we got the other day, we're ready to buy a $2.1 million property. We've been watching your videos for a year and a half. We've got cash, and we'll be down there at the end of August. And
Awesome.
we're like, okay.
It's a dirty job,
Great.
but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And so, that's not a lead we paid for. We didn't go after them. We're not hounding them. It was just one of those things.
I hear somebody say, where have you been all my life?
That's right.
Andy, I want to get clarification. I'm probably going to go and sign up for your course today, but I want to get clarification when you're talking about the playlists, like new construction playlists. Now, you'd only want 2 separate channels if you've got a channel dedicated to production and one dedicated to traction, right? To separate the analytics.
Yes,
Right.
100%. Yeah, because you want YouTube's algorithm to know exactly what your channel is about. That's the reason. If you go watch our channel, every single one of our videos, and I do mean every single one of them, start out the exact same way. Wherever I'm at, if I'm sitting in Orange Beach, or if I'm sitting in Gulf Shores, if I'm sitting in Foley, the way that I do it is I say the same thing every time. So you're thinking about moving to Foley, Alabama. Well, today in this video, we're going to talk about blah blah blah. So it's you say in that first 10 to 15 seconds exactly where you are and what the video is about, and you're targeting people who are looking to move here. And YouTube's algorithm will pick up on that because they watch your videos, YouTube does, to try to figure out who to put it in front of. And so it says, well, this video is about moving to Foley, Alabama. So we need to find people who are searching for videos to move to Foley, Alabama. And that's who they put it in front of. And that's why we're, like if you look for us now, we're on the first page of Google, so it's like I had all these companies tell me, if you'll pay us $10,000, we'll tell you how to get to the front page of Google. It took me 2.5 years to get here, but I'm here, so I mean, and I
it
didn't pay
costs zero.
yeah, I didn't pay $10,000 to do it. So,
Do you have a link for your the course that we can get through you that you can drop in the chat?
yeah, if you go to, I put it right there in the chat, the
Oh, okay,
www.theagentsoffreedom.com, and then use the code, it's all caps, freedom50, and that'll get you a 50% discount.
heck yeah.
50% off for Freedom Team. Come on.
That's right.
Andy, David, what you said are pretty good. I saw you had a good channel. I'm doing it too on YouTube, but I don't know, somehow your Julo didn't show yourself that much. So where else do they have it? Do they don't update it all down there?
My Zillow doesn't show that I sell that much.
Yeah, is it the
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because I don't sell real estate.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't sell real estate. I mean, I have a team of people who sell real estate. Aileen sells real estate. If you'll look up Aileen, she just iconed.
For the
So
sixth time.
yeah, for the sixth time. Yeah, if you'll,
who's
all my team members, all my buyers agents, they're selling everything. Andy does the YouTube channel. That's all Andy does is YouTube and agent attraction. That's it. I don't want to sell real estate.
Are you gonna? I think would that be good that you can combine, like how Julo? I'm just getting a great idea here because that is going to be matching. Because people will look you up. So you know how Tom Sawyer.
I don't hold on. Let me time out. Let me tell you, I don't care about people looking me up. I don't care if anybody knows who Andy Hollis is. Andy Hollis is not searchable. I could care less. Andy Hollis at EXP, as far as I'm concerned, don't exist. What I want is people to find Orange Beach, Alabama living, what it's like to live in Orange Beach, Alabama. That's searchable. That if you look that up, you'll find all kinds of stuff. But Andy doesn't exist. I don't care. The vanity matrix don't mean nothing to me. I'm not out here going, look at me, I'm the greatest realtor in the world. You should call me. No, I don't care. I'm out. So, if that answers your question.
No, I mean, what I'm saying is like mine, what I did to people, well, I don't know. I don't do really much coaching. I don't take it. My coaching, whatever, I show them proof. On the coaching side, on the real estate, whatever you do, if I cannot show proof to them, they pay me 2,000, I give them 20,000. Whatever I say, like it would be good. It's just recommended. I mean, if you if you're doing a course, and that probably that what would be best, because they keep up EXP and everything too. And if you have like what the guy named Kentra on Julo, he got his name on it. He got a whole bunch of people that call like a premiere. You don't buy Julo lead, right? Probably that's why they don't put you up there either. You
No,
don't Julo lead.
I
Okay.
don't buy leads from nowhere.
Right.
I think it's a whole different approach with YouTube. I mean, it's just a completely different way about doing it. I mean, because honestly, most realtors, I say all the time, like you're the brand. I mean, and it is the case for most agents, the way they're building businesses. With funnels, different things, it's like you become the brand. The best marketer wins. YouTube's a completely different animal.
Right. Like this guy, Kenny Trung, he got like 122 members, and when you look him up, all his buyer agent are member in there. So probably I don't know if he offer any coaching, anything like that at all. But that's what he did. And it looked good when somebody look up you. Well, if you don't care about those on the coaching side, I don't know. You may have something you may want to show it to the people that when they're doing on it. It's up to you and them. But that's what that's what I would recommend it. So it had to be matching what you would say and what you come out there. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Anybody else, real quick? We'll wrap it up. Everybody good? Any last questions before we're done? I got to take my dog to get a haircut.
Quick question: what you guys do with a lot of foreclosure about heating up the market? You have any special strategy on it? I'm still thinking, and I'm still doing it. I'm not master on those yet, but I've been here and there. I've been doing it the last 20 years. Y'all have any idea on how to approach those
Foreclosures?
foreclosure? Yep.
Oh, wow. I mean, I've never done a foreclosure. I've done short sales, lots of short sales.
Oh, so sir, how do you do that? Want to share? So can you
I mean,
share?
again, we're going back to 2008 here. Let me pull out my. Let's see.
I done that too, but not a lot. A lot of people here, they don't know what they're doing. It takes about a year or two. I'm end up lost my buyer because of them don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But my short sale is I did within, if I'm listing within 30 days, so we had to prepare on it. So what I'm thinking about doing for a closer that offer them a short sale. We are I buyer too, so either we can short sell. But are you the one who charged? That when I joined EXP, I heard that's a guy. He charged $5,000 for a buyer that buying the short sale from you, and it's a lot of work. Is that you?
That wasn't me. No, I've
Okay.
not done that. Yeah.
But I mean, when I first started Icon, one of the guys called me his Icon agent too. He said that that's all he do is short sales, and he got buyer pay a premium fee, some kind of like an auction thing,
Right.
for him to the listing agent, for buying the short sale from him.
Yeah.
So if they
Yeah,
have
you need really patient buyers to do short sales. I mean, in terms of buying, they got to be willing to sit there for 3, 4, 5 months, because it could take that long or longer before the bank comes back and gives an answer. So that's one
are
of the
you
biggest.
trying to get the seller like pre-approved first, like pre-approved with the bank first, pre-approved with the owner, the lender, to like approve them to a short sale first, or before you
No,
put
I
on
mean,
the
it's just if they're behind on payments and they're headed to foreclosure, I mean, you can stop that process, by getting the short sale. A lot of sellers don't know that they can do a short sale. They just throw their hands in the air because they're frustrated and, oh, well, we're just losing the house. And there's ways to help them, and the bank doesn't want the house back, and they will take a loss on that and just write it off their books. That's what they would rather do than get the house back and have to go through the whole process of listing the house. So it's a way to do it. They're coming back, whatever, but it's a long process in terms of getting that approval from the bank.
So
It can be,
how many you done a year when the peak time, like
back in between 2008 and 2011, I probably did 300 or 400 of them, somewhere in there. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it's about all we did back in those years, So I haven't done one since. My wife had a buyer that was under contract on a short sale, and again, they ended up canceling the contract because it was like 3 months, and we just still didn't have an answer. Which we told them, you're going to have to be really patient with this.
What is there? That I love to work with investors if possible. That's what I did when I done the short sale. The one that you have, like, what city and state that are you selling short sale back there?
I'm in Colorado Springs, Colorado, so that's where we've done our stuff. So
It's just stop picking up right now. You see a lot of short sales.
I mean, again, I haven't gone after that at all. I think I'm just reading across the country where we're seeing more and more of that. Just some different articles I've read and stuff. I haven't looked here myself to see. I'm sure it is. I think it's just it's picking up. I think a little bit everywhere.
Yeah.
So it might be another training we do. I will say this: if you go back on our Freedom Team YouTube channel, if you scroll back probably about a little over a year, maybe I think it was sometime probably a year and a half ago. But oh gosh, what's her name in Kentucky? Stephanie Gillison did a really good short sale training. She actually did a 4-part series on short sales for us, and it was phenomenal. You could find that in our YouTube channel. And I would tell you to go back and look at how to find those people, how to find the, what to do for them, the paperwork that's needed, all that stuff was in there. She really broke it down. So anyway, I do need to cut it off, guys, because I got to run. I do have another appointment coming up here in about a half an hour, and I got to go get ready for it. So anyway, but guys, thank you very much. Okay, it's good to see everybody. Heidi, glad you're doing well.
Thank you for everything.
Good to see you. You're
And
welcome. Thank you.
congratulations on your new grandson.
Yeah, heck yeah, I'm a grandpa. So. All right, guys. Have a great day. They'll have this recording up a little bit, and the other one will be up there later today too from yesterday. So, all right. Have a great day. We'll see you guys.
Bye.